Welcome. This is Ryan Sokolowski, Senior Program Manager with the ECG CAT team again. And today we're going to take a look at using Virtual Machine Manager, or VMM, with our Storage QoS policies. So we'll start here on our Storage Spaces Direct cluster. We'll open a PowerShell window, and we'll use Get Storage QoS Policy to view the existing user-defined policies that have been previously created. Now, in comparison, we'll switch over to Virtual Machine Manager, and in our Fabric node, we'll go to the storage location and go down here to QoS Policies, and here you can see the QoS policies that match up to those same policies that we viewed using PowerShell. Now, we'll do a couple of things here. We can create a new Storage QoS policy, and we'll give this a name of multi-1. We're going to create a multi-instance policy and click Next. And here's where you choose the policy type, and the naming here is different than what we use in PowerShell, referring to single instance or multi-instance. A single instance policy is the first choice here. All virtual disk instances share resources, and that's taking it more of a pooled approach. And then a multi-instance policy is resources allocated to each virtual disk instance. So each virtual disk to which the policy is applied will receive these defined minimum and maximum IOPS numbers. So we'll click Next. And then here's where you define scope. And a nice note here is that if you're defining Storage QoS policies in an enterprise environment and you have multiple file servers, if you use Virtual Machine Manager to create and define your policies here and then apply the scope to all of the managed file servers, each one of those file servers will receive the same policy ID or GUID. And the reason that this is important is when you do a storage migration of a virtual machine workload from one storage location to another managed file server, you won't have any issues with policy enforcement or application because that policy will be defined on all of those managed file servers. So we'll say Next here, and then Finish. And there we have our new multi-instance policy. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show you is how to use Storage QoS policies when you're deploying a virtual machine. So we're going to pick one of our previously defined virtual machine templates, and we'll call this virtual machine test 1, and we'll step through our wizard quickly here to get to the screen where we make our selection of the Storage QoS policy. Now, on this screen, notably, if you choose to deploy the VM to a private cloud, you're not presented with the option to make the Storage QoS policy selection because of the disk. So we're going to choose to place the virtual machine on a host, and we'll let our calculation come up here, and we'll choose CCEP SRV01 as our destination host and click Next. And this next screen right here under Machine Resources is the virtual hard disk, and this is actually the location that your Storage QoS policies are surfaced. So from here you can see clearly that we can select one of our previously defined Storage QoS policies and have a Storage QoS policy in effect when that virtual machine is provisioned from the first moment it starts. So that's what we had to show today, and thanks for joining us.